All right, welcome to Worlds live from our penthouse suite above the city.
It's not a penthouse suite.
Okay, yeah, you're not in this interview, okay?
This is a normal hotel room.
That's fine. This is a great hotel room. Beautiful view, scenic vistas.
That's
Anyway, we're here with Grimecraft. He's
What
a
up?
dope. He's a dope MF. I don't want to say the bad words because of the children's, but we're here. How are you doing? I'm going to call you Clark. I'm going to call you Grimecraft. What do you want me to call you?
Either is fine. I mean, my human name is Clark, but most people know me as Grimecraft.
I'm probably not going to say your name a whole bunch of times during this interview anyway. All right. So if you don't know who Grimecraft is, he's a dope electronic musician, and he's been super hot lately. He's been all over the scene. He's been doing some dope kids. But I don't know what's the how do I describe your?
Well, we should mention that we use your music all the time in our podcast, so probably most of the listeners do know your music, at least in some form or another, because we've used it quite often.
Yeah. So I made the
Poke Ep
or Pokey P as Cutman calls it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. The very popular Pokemon remix album out on Game Chops. It was almost 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
But it's still, I make sales on that every day. It's still popular. People love it. They're like, oh, I love Pokebike. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of embarrassed of these tracks now because I'm so much better at producing now.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that. So obviously we're in San Francisco. You're from San Francisco. We're not, if we're talking about all what do we call it? Transparency, you weren't able to get into Pokemon Worlds.
No.
But I was hoping that maybe we could kick it a little bit while we were here, and we did.
Yeah.
And so we have you up here. So what's your trajectory? How did you get to become the best-selling Pokemon music artist of all time, or whatever?
I have no idea. Maybe tags or something on Bandcamp. I don't know. The album came out. It was my first album I did with Game Chops, which is, if you guys might know that label, we're the biggest video game remix label in the world. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/GameChops.
It's the dopest. It's the dopest.
It's dope. Get all your video game remixes there. But it was my first album ever and with Game Chops, and it just kind of became really popular as soon as it launched. I launched it on my birthday. It was we had a Twitch stream. Or no, actually, this was before Twitch. This was Mixify. We had
Mixify?
we had a Mixify party.
Yeah.
The Pokey P launch party on Mixify. Made a lot of sales that day, and it since that day years ago, it's still every day it sells copies. People just, especially with the resurgence of Pokemon right now with Pokemon Go becoming the mainstream. Billboard just posted the album, so it's gotten a new hype level, and it's
that's crazy.
It is crazy. When that happened, I was like, that's the most random thing to ever happen ever.
So was that your first success of that size? Was that you woke up 2 days later and you were like, what the hell?
Kind of. I mean, I've had other cool publications pick up my music before. It's always completely random. I don't really try super hard to put my music, get a premiere from a blog and have all these sites post about it. I kind of just do it in an organic way and let my audience kind of spread it themselves. But
do you consider yourself this is a weird question. Do you consider yourself a video game themed artist?
Yeah, that's it. Video game DJ, a video game producer. The first Grimecraft song was actually in a video game. It was in Fantasia Music Evolved. I worked with the Flaming Lips and did a remix for them for that video game. And I've been in the game industry for a long time.
Where did you start?
Where did I start? I first started working at Insomniac Games in Burbank, 2011.
So deep in it. So you were there for some pretty big games.
Yeah, I was during development of Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive, and this game called Fuse, which was called Overstrike back in the day.
Dope.
And it was dope. And then after I left the company, EA was the publisher. It just got significantly less dope, and became a critical failure. But yeah, that was the beginning, and then I started working at Harmonix and like the Rock Band franchise, Dance Central, Fantasia.
You saying earlier you did like some journalism stuff too?
Yeah, so that was after. So I left the game industry shortly after I moved to Square Enix, and kind of was like, all right, screw this. I'm gonna do music full time. I'm gonna keep touring. At that point, and that was like 2-3 years after the launch of the PokeP, where I built up a significant audience and was like, oh, this is something that can actually support me. Left the game industry as a developer, which I was an artist, but and started just doing music. But I kind of wanted a side gig to keep being able to infiltrate all the events that I like going to. So I was working at Destructoid, and that was right before Gamergate started. And once that started, I was like, I'm out. I can't do this.
Shout outs to the Game Jam at Maker Studios.
Wait, I have a question. Wait, you said that you were working as a game developer artist. You mean music artist, or do you also
artists like 3D artists?
That is so cool. I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah. I was a really very talented game artist, environment artist, and the scene was doing a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. They're like, oh, like the art for your stuff is really cool. Who does it? And I'm like, me.
Yo, it's me. That's so cool. So awesome.
Yeah.
Are you happier now that you're like music full time? Well, you're not music 100% of the time. Like
it's pretty much 100%.
Yeah.
I have other things now, but yeah, for the past few years, it's been music full time. Yeah, it's the happiest I've ever been. When I quit my job, and I did it, in the worst way possible, where it was like,
I'm out.
Screw you guys.
Yeah.
I'm out. No 2 weeks. I'm gone.
Damn.
And that was the best day of my life. Like, life got significantly more chill.
That is a good day when you're like, I could just do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah. And, I didn't feel like I belonged behind a computer screen all day. I'm a very much outward facing person. I've got big personality, big hair,
Yeah.
I don't belong.
I wish you could see it.
Yeah.
Somehow you managed to still like get gaming in there.
Yeah.
Like it's like very game.
Yeah, I mean, that's my passion. Music and games have always been a thing. And, I bring it into the music. I go to all the conventions and play pretty much every party, IGNs. Like,
if you've been
DJ.
to one of these parties, you've probably seen him play.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like every party.
Yeah, every cool party that is lit.
Do you have like a personal favorite project or piece that you've done that you're particularly proud of that you want us to like show the people?
In terms of music
Or anything.
Anything? I mean, I always try to plug my latest track. I just put out a remix for an artist called OK, a remix of Thief. That's really good. So yeah, listen to that. It's got and while it's like a popular EDM music remix that I was asked to do, and it was great. It also has that element of video games nostalgia. I use a bunch of like sound fonts that make my music sound like video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is like, so like the first thing, like Poke EP is kind of like seminal for your maybe you're not so proud of that stuff as much as you are proud of your newer stuff, but like
I'm still proud of it. I mean, it is a staple. It's like my best selling album ever. And I'm kind of pissed about that, but that's fine. I love Pokemon. Pokemon's my favorite thing.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Is like, are you glad that it was like a Pokemon one that was the number one, or like, are you like, damn, I wish it was Metal Gear?
No. It would always be Pokemon. That's my favorite game forever. It's one of the only things throughout my entire life of 20 plus years of loving Pokemon. I've never stopped liking this.
Yeah, same.
And even when people like, would be like, oh, what are you, like 10 years old? You're carrying around a Pikachu backpack? And I'm like, yeah. Pikachu's dope.
Dude, you just stuck to your guns, and then you were just like, I'm gonna be like an EDM like video game artist, and you like made up that job, and now you have it.
Yeah, exactly. And now like, there's a whole resurgence of Pokemon being popular again, and like everyone's starting to like it, and it kind of makes me feel like, well, I never stopped liking it, but
Pokemon
that's
hipster.
fine. That's fine. And that's only helped my career. As people keep liking Pokemon, and they keep discovering my music, and then discover more. Like, oh, this guy, he does like video games stuff, like tight.
So are you like still very hungry like in your career, or are you like where you want to be at?
No, I'm chill. I've never been like too hungry to like be on top of the EDM world,
American
bust into the
Idol.
mainstream. Yeah, like I am happy for every single person that appreciates what I do because those are people who support me, and that's the one thing that I think I've done differently than a lot of other artists, where they're like going for the mainstream and going for more like a blanket fan base that they're like they know that one song. I think every one of my fans knows every single one of my songs and supports all I do, and they're all super fans, and that's like the goal as a musician. Like the one thing you really need to do is collect super fans, because those are the people that are gonna pay your bills essentially.
Right. Get those everybody interested in everything you're doing.
Yeah, and they're also evangelists for your product, whatever it is. And that's the most important people to have. I know you guys have tons of people like that who love you guys.
Yeah,
so.
it's really weird. Like I think gaming is like sort of like the pioneer of this type of thing, where it's like when you first get started. I don't know if this is a similar experience for you, because I also came from the game. I was a game journalist as well. Like, nobody ever like became my fan. Even people read my articles. I had a couple articles that were like very viral, whatever, like, but it has nothing to do with like my name or anything like that, or anything having to do with me. But then now, as you get more popular, you find like there's those people on Twitter or on, wherever that like slowly became your friends.
Yeah.
That are like just started as like strangers who like took an interest in you because of what you're doing. And that's like really weird. It's like a really like that never happens in
it's a
real
liquid
life.
kind of relationship. I mean, that's great. And that's actually my entire branding and stuff is like, I have a show, Grimecraft and Friends. My entire fan base and is based on friendship. It's like, oh, if you're a fan of Grimecraft, you're a friend of Grimecraft. If I see anybody who stops me on the street, or whatever, like, I'd be like, oh, hey, you're Grimecraft. I'm like, yeah, hi, I'm Clark. Like, and we'll probably hang out later. Like,
right.
Well, like I'm down to like chill. Like, I don't like to put any space between me and the people that like what I do. Because if you like what I do, then you stand for the same shit. And that's rare to find.
That's like the right attitude to have, I think. Like anything else, you're just like either giving somebody what they want or you're being like an ass.
For sure.
So I don't know. So what's it like for you nowadays? Now that you are doing kind of what you realize that you want to be doing, like what's your day like? Like, are you like, I know you do a lot of like new businessy things that I've been finding, like as my channel's been getting more popular and stuff, and as I have to start like thinking about myself as a business, that like there's a lot of skills and like knowledge that I like have to learn, and like it's really annoying because I like don't want to do it and don't want to think about it. But like, what's your day like?
I mean, I take everything day by day. If I wake up and I'm inspired to like work on music, I will. If I'm not, I'll go out for some ramen or whatever and play some video games and kind of like find inspiration that way. But, lately and always, like I only produce music when I feel inspired. Otherwise, you're forcing it out, and
Exactly.
you don't want to like make your job like that,
Right.
And I never have. I mean, I've been touring a lot lately, so a lot of the time I'm home, I'm like chilling hard and just like venting out
blanket
to No Man's
time.
Sky.
Yeah.
I play out a lot. I travel a lot, so that like takes a lot out of you. But I mean, most recently, I just started a company called The Way VR. I think my entire career and interest in music is like, man, music has been the same for a while, and I want to change it up and make a new space. So The Way VR is basically a social music platform in virtual reality where you can go and see your favorite artists perform.
It's like virtual shows, right?
Yeah,
basically?
virtual shows. Yeah. And it's the first of its kind ever happened. We just got funded, like huge. It became a huger thing than I could have ever imagined.
It's such, because it's such a simple idea that like it seems like you're like, that'd be cool, and then like somebody's like, that would be cool.
Yeah, and everyone's like that. Everyone's like, as soon as it was announced, like I got so many messages like, yo, I thought of that idea. Yeah. And I was like, that's cool. Me too. Like, but I did it.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
And that's the difference. You have to execute on these ideas, and now is the right time. VR is like kind of popping off. There's a lot of VCs like investing money into it, and we just happened to get a lot of press early on. I did a show. I played a DJ set in virtual reality at GDC. And people were like, what is happening? This is cool. People can go into the VR audience and I can see them in real time. It's like a really like, this has never happened before. Kind of like a silent disco, but with VR, you know?
Yeah, it's like a little bit more like you feel like there's a real person doing it.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. You're co-present. This is the first time you can be co-present with an artist, not being anywhere near them. So like Deadmau5 or whatever could be playing in the Wave, and you're at home in your VR, you know, HTC Vive, your VR, Oculus Rift, whatever. And you're there with him, and that's him. It's like, oh, that's him on stage. And, you know, he could look over at you, and that's like,
it's you.
Everyone wants that one moment. Like at any EDM show, it's like, I want the artist to look at me.
Right.
And that
little nod.
Yeah, that little nod.
Give
like,
the dude the nod. Yeah,
hey, bro. But you know, now we can do it in these spaces.
That's like when Simba waved at me in the Disneyland parade.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Simba could wave, and he did.
Yeah, he has paws.
Yeah. That's dope. That is like crazy futuristic. That is like so nutty.
I just dropped some future stuff right now. Yeah, the Wave VR, you know, follow it on Twitter, Facebook, all this stuff. We're about to roll out. So we're basically rolling out a beta for artists. So I have a select group of artists that we're working with to put on the first like big VR shows. And then the first thing we're going to drop to public is the audience app. So people can actually attend these shows. But we're going to work with the select group of artists to put them on first. And they're going to be people, you know. So we'll announce that when the time comes.
Yeah, it's going to be legit as hell.
It's going to be legit as hell.
Yeah.
It's already been legit as hell. Like the interest, like I've done live streams even on my channel just like before it's still not finished now, but like, you know, in development, like, all right, I'm going to do DJ set in this thing. And people are like, what is happening? This is really cool. Gets promoted to the front page of Twitch. People are like, I don't understand what's going on. But then they like put it together within like 5 minutes. Like, oh, wait, that's him on stage because he's moving the same. The camera is also, so I have like a little, you know, picture-in-picture camera of me in VR, and then like, the stage and the
instantly
avatar.
They're like, I want to be there.
Yeah.
I want to put it on my face.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's something we're going to start testing, you know, very soon. Start doing beta versions of these concerts, live streaming them on Twitch, but also like giving a link for people to download the app. And if they have on Google Cardboard or Gear VR, they can go in the VR audience and like
it's like a way better version of AOL music.
Yeah. Or like, you know, people, when I talk to them, they're like, oh, it's like turntable FM. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like that, but the DJs are actually DJing. Like all the tools they need to DJ are in virtual reality. So they're like, oh, wait, they don't need any like physical gear. Like, no,
it's a platform.
They're all virtual instruments. Like you can, you know, play everything there. And we have like a DAW version of it as well. So you can like create music in VR, which is also like very mind blowing. Like everyone that sees that is like
super educational too. Probably, I imagine.
It's, you know, it's a new way to approach.
Is it something that where you want everybody to have both sides of the tool, or is it like you go to the show and it's like a show?
The main platform is the show.
Yeah.
The music creation aspect was kind of the first demo we made. And that's what the development team like showed me early on. They're like, hey, we're making this thing. Like, do you want to be involved? I'm like, I saw it. I was like, this is really cool. Like, I love this. We should like do something for DJs. Let's like, you know, let's next level this. And, you know, they worked me to design the interfaces, make the art. And
so theoretically you could learn how to DJ on the Wave.
Yeah.
Like you could just never touch a real.
You can never touch vinyl. You can never touch, you know,
like
CDJs.
A wire. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just all there. It's ready to go. You plug in your tracks and like,
That's nutty.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Honestly, the baseline price for entry is even cheaper because like buying gear, the industry standard CDJ 2000s, they're both $2,000 pop. You need two of those, and then you need a mixer. You can get a crap mixer if you want, but that you're spending like $6,000 there. Right.
Like you're a professional. Like you have to have that stuff when you're on stage.
Yeah. So buying an HTC Vive, which is, you know, the top headset you can get, is like $800. And that's nothing.
And you're not just buying it to DJ. Like you're buying like a movie theater also.
Yeah,
you're also buying video games.
Yeah. You're buying like it's like an Xbox. Or I mean, you know, PSVR or anything. You're buying other games. You're buying a new platform to experience things on.
Right. That's dope. It would also be great for stuff like this weekend. Where like, you know, like I think a lot of people were expecting like a convention, and instead it's like a very sort of like private event that's focused on the competition more. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, theoretically, like you could play a show at this event, and even though nobody can get in, like they could just be at the show anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope.
I mean, that and it's like kind of a next level of live streaming instead of just watching on a screen. You're fully immersed in the world. Yeah.
It's dope.
Interacting with people. Yeah.
It's very dope. So how's Worlds been for you so far? Are you feeling the hype from the outside?
I am. I mean, honestly, this has been my calendar forever. Actually, one of our Game Chops artists, Ralphington, was supposed to compete
In what?
in the
DS
game. Yeah,
Dope.
He's really good. I didn't realize this until MagFest. I played him, and he just
Bopped you.
yeah, it was I thought I was good at Pokemon, and he just did these dirty moves, and I was like, what? He had a full setup. He trapped me, and he was doing something
It's
where
toying with you.
he was hitting his own Pokemon, and that Pokemon was getting way stronger, and then he just one shot everyone. It was messed up. I got had.
So you weren't able to get onto the competitive floor, but you got into the gift shop.
Yeah.
Did you get some dope gear?
I got some dope gear. I got the Worlds jersey, which I'm really excited about. It's super cool looking, super exclusive, and it's saying San Francisco on it. This is the first time Worlds has been in a place I live. I mean, last year was in Boston. I moved out of Boston 3 years ago, so that would have been great if I still lived there. But and that was open to the public. This one they announced a week ago. It wasn't, and I was very disappointed because I was gonna go, hang out, friends, cheer on friends. Ralphington, who couldn't make it because his computer died 3 weeks before, and he's like, I need a new computer now because
Can't justify coming to
Yeah.
the Pokemon Championship.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it disappointing. But I got to come in and check out Pokemon Center. It's we don't have a Pokemon Center in San Francisco.
It's crazy. Nintendo's here. The Treehouse is here. Get that Pokemon Center here.
I mean, I know the Nintendo people. Those are my
Yeah.
homies. They're disassociated from Pokemon Center, which
Right.
is unfortunate. But the last Pokemon Center I went to was in when I was touring in Japan, and I went to two different ones. One in the Osaka airport, and there was one in Shibuya. Isn't it now?
I think there is one in Shibuya.
It's somewhere, Tokyo.
Yeah.
But it was cool seeing, the setup that they had here was really had a great selection. I actually came back today to buy that Bulbasaur, and they were sold out, and I was so mad.
Insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I woke up ever since not buying it. I'm when I was paying for the jersey, it's
You're like,
how much is that Bulbasaur though? And they're like, I think $50, and I'm like, oh.
At
And then I woke
least-
up this morning just I need that Bulbasaur.
Yeah. That's probably mostly why we got this interview.
But they're selling out very, very fast. We went to it yesterday, and when we were asking the guy what kind of things sold out, he was naming things that we didn't even see in there yesterday. There was apparently a big Snorlax that was just gone in minutes.
There was one memory foam Gumi left last time we were in the shop, and now they're all gone as well.
I almost got that guy. He was great.
Yeah.
He was great to hug.
I'm surprised they didn't sell out of. I mean, the only thing I intended to buy was the Pikachu plush because that's the only thing I'd seen online. I had no idea they would have such a large merch setup here.
Dude, me too. I was blown away. I impulse bought a very expensive sweater, but it's dope, so I don't care. But damn,
whatever. Yeah, and same with I would have ever I don't have any esports jerseys, but I saw that and I was like,
that's a pretty dope esports jersey.
It's
Yeah,
freaking dope.
I may yet buy one. I've never had a desire to wear a jersey before like that. I used to play soccer when I was a kid, so I guess I wore those ugly children's jerseys. One time, no joke, my team was white with red. Imagine if you took a paintbrush, a wide paintbrush, and just dabbed red all over a white jersey. That's my soccer team look like. So
wow,
this
blood.
this one will be a big step up. This will be a big step up for me, so I'm excited about it. All right, well, anything else Pokemon related we want to point people to? You were telling me you just did a recent remix.
I'm coming out very soon on Game Chops. I have a Lavender Town remix, and that'll probably be out in the next few months. We're kind of spreading out my releases now that I'm kind of more busy with this company I just started. But I have check out PokeP. It's free. It's actually pay what you want on Bandcamp. So if you feel that you want to buy it, it's
if you think it's worth $50.
Yeah. Someone paid me $700 for it once.
Oh my god.
That is
not once, twice. Someone paid $900 another time, and I'm like,
that's
what?
hype. That's hype.
I mean, that's the coolest thing about pay what you want. It's most people get it for free, but some people who are like, this is dope. Well,
Yeah, they'll
spend
throw it
whatever.
in.
Yeah,
It's killer.
yeah.
Also, if you are a fan of the things that I do, there's a remix of Angel off the Big Bad Bosses album.
Oh yeah.
That he did that is fresh as hell. Go give that a listen. Where on your SoundCloud?
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud, it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's everywhere.
Go scope it out. It's dope.
It's really good. Definitely check it out.
Grimecraft, thank you for being here. Hopefully for the first of many interviews that I locked down this weekend. Hopefully. Where can the people find you on the webs?
Pretty much anything.com/Grimecraft. I'm most active on Twitter, so twitter.com/Grimecraft, @Grimecraft, facebook.com/Grimecraft. Sundays, 7 p.m. PST on twitch.tv/Grimecraft. Anywhere you hit me up, I will be. I have that rare thing where like I actually got Grimecraft at everything.
Yeah, it's like impossible.
It is impossible.
Yeah. That's why our YouTube channel is called The National Dex. But maybe that's just an oversight on my part. I don't know.
I don't know how, but everywhere Pokekels is still available. Maybe people are respecting it.
You think so?
I've never run into a problem.
Yeah, Pokekels.com.
No.
You should trademark.
Yeah,
you should trademark Pokekels.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for coming by.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, man. And we'll be back sometime later this week, and hopefully with more content for y'all's out there. Thank you guys for listening. I've been Alex. That's Grimecraft, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.